What's going on, everybody? It's your boy M.I.C back in the building with yet another YouTube video. Today we're going to be discussing my thoughts about Tekken 8. After getting my hands on it, I really want to go through and kind of critique and kind of give what I think about the final product that's going to be coming to us here in January 26th. Based upon, the things that I've learned having my hands on this demo. I know the demo is not an accurate representation of what the final product is, but I think that it's gave me enough of a feel to really be able to critique in a manner that should be, at least profound enough for consumption. All right. In any event, the first thing I want to talk about is the presentation, right? Now, the presentation, obviously, we want to jump into how the graphics look, and the graphical fidelity of everything on this game is top notch. Like, even when you look at the side mode of the quest, it's like the environments, they feel like real environments, right? Then when you get to like the core gameplay, the character models designed very well. I mean, very well. I don't know what happened between the CNT and the CBT and then getting this demo. Obviously, they were reworking it and, putting a little bit more effort in and a little polish here and there. It really shined through to me for some reason when I got to watch it on my screen up close and personal again. I guess I've been watching these YouTube videos for so long, I forgot the quality was so crisp. So the graphical fidelity is A1, all right? A1. I'd say we're going to give that junk a fire-ass 10 out of 10, all right? 10 out of 10 for graphics all the way around. Now, when it comes to the sound, well, you got the music, which I will say there's no music that really moves me. I do like the big, huge stage where it's like the water and the wildlife. I think we're going to call it the Jun stage. That's probably my favorite stage. Not only just for how the dynamics of the stage look and like how everything's arranged and how everything looks graphically. It looks very good. And that's one thing I can say I didn't mention in the graphics is that all of the stages are high quality. You can tell they put a lot of effort, a lot of intricate details in it, a lot of little Easter eggs and all of the different various places that you go, that you fight, the different arenas. On this demo, we only got 3, but in the CBT and the CNT, was able to get to the hangar was another one that we had in the arena, and both of those, and as well as the Azucena stage for Peru, and all of those were highly detailed. So that goes more to the graphics, but to the sound, the production of most of the music on here is good to great, depending on what you like, right? And some of it is just okay, right? Now, nothing I found has been like I don't want to hear it. I know Tekken Tag 2, I believe, or maybe it was Tekken 6, I can't remember. They had like some yodeling stage. I hated that music, right? It was dope that it was different, and it wasn't kind of like the complaint that people have about Tekken 7 where they just be like, oh man, this junk just nothing but dubstep and electronic bass. Like, they just don't like that junk. I mean, I can understand where they're coming from. And I think that some of the music is a lot more melodic now on the game. So I can say that the sound, as far as the music goes, I would give it like a 8.5, 10. You know what I'm saying? 8.5 out of 10. If it came down to the sound effects, now the sound effects are hard hitting. They're crunching. It feel like I'm giving them that oomph when I'm hitting them with them electrics. Hitting Paul Death Fist never felt so good, especially when you hit somebody against the wall. The way the scenery breaks apart, the shaking, the rattling. Very good, high quality sound effects. I know some people might feel like they don't see it the same. Maybe some people like some of the sound effects from before. But in my experience, just looking at it objectively, it seems as though there is just a higher quality sound effect than you may have had in other games, right? Now that can be subjective, so I guess I can't say objectively, but to my ears, it seems like it is just objectively better all the way around. And that's going to give us that for the presentation. So for presentation overall, I'm gonna say if we mix them together, we're gonna go with maybe like a 9. All right, 9 overall on presentation. Now, when we talk about content, this is where this bad boy shines. Okay, now we talking about the demo content only is already outrageous. Okay, already an immaculate product just for the demo. I got a video, you can check it out right up here, where I was talking about like it might be too damn good, right? The demo might be too good. But let's talk about the content that's on the game that we're going to be getting here in January. Based off of the things that I've had my hands on, I didn't get to fly out and test the whole game, but from what I'm having access to, I'm going to give you my perspective on those things. So first off, for the single player content, you got the story. Story looks great, okay? Story looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. The quality, once again, very good. Now, the story itself is Tekken. I don't expect it to make a lot of sense. I seen some stuff over there that was looking crazy on the story. I had some questions. Boy, it was looking like DBZ out there. But outside of that, I mean, the quality of it looks superb. Okay, I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing the story mode. The arcade quest. Now, some people I saw, they really didn't like it. They said it was kind of gimmicky, kind of like a baby, kind of boring. I had a lot of fun with the idea of what I think that they're going to be doing. Like, when I played it, it was fun walking around, talking smack, beating people up in the arcade. Even though it's just some NPCs, it was kind of dope because it kind of took me back to a time when I was younger and I used to be in the arcades. And I like the storyline that it has. You're trying to be an up-and-coming Tekken player, trying to get into the Tekken World Tour. Also, like a pseudo offline rank match type thing. So I think it's going to be pretty dope, and it's going to be good for people who are getting introduced to the game, right? So maybe it's not going to be the best for a veteran like myself. Although I'm going to have fun with it, I think I will enjoy it. I could see some people just skipping over it because they probably look at it like a tutorial mode, which it is functioning as somewhat of a tutorial mode. But I think it overall is just going to be a secondary mode with a different story that's focused more on the player or the character that you have, because you'll be able to customize it at that point in time. So it'll be you, so to speak, in your story, in your journey through your progression through the Tekken World Tour, and possibly becoming a champion of the Tekken World Tour. I think that's going to be eventually where it goes. That's where I see it going. I could be wrong, but that's where I see it going based off of what I was playing. Superb. I really, really like that. Then the Super Ghost Battle. Now, this is the thing that really, this is the one that shined so much that, honestly, I ain't going to hold you. They probably shouldn't have put this in the demo. Like, this junk is too good. It's too good. Like, well, I guess maybe they should have, because it sold me. If nothing else was going to sell me on this junk, you could possibly drop me on an island somewhere. I would need internet connectivity only so that they can update my Ghost. But then I could just have no other, they could just take the online version off, and I could still play this Tekken and possibly still have a very, very good time. Simply because it's doing something that, like, you've never seen before in any fighting game that I've ever heard of. Being able to basically up the ante on the ghost battles. Like, the old ghost battles, it was okay, but it didn't really do what it needed to do. This junk here is like, oh, like, I can really get you to mimic me. And then I could just change whatever I want to change. And now I got a whole new version of a character that I get to fight against. I just think that is high quality. Hats off to Tekken for implementing that. I mean, I don't know where y'all got the idea from. I don't know who's got the patent on this idea, but y'all might want to file a patent if somebody else ain't got it, and sell it to all these other fighting game companies. Because boy, that junk there, oh, fire. Okay, super hot fire. Okay. Now you also have the versus modes, the CPU versus CPU, which is something that Tekken never ever had before, as far as I know. You've never been able to just have a computer fight against each other. So that's going to be something new for Tekken. I haven't really got a chance to use that because it wasn't on the demo, but I did see it listed on the demo when you went over to offline. And also you have player versus CPU, which is also something I don't think Tekken has ever done, where you could just set up the computer to fight the computer. Like normally Tekken sits you into like survival mode or time attack, or you gotta go through the arcade mode, and that's how you fight against people. They did have, I take it back, they did have ghost battles on Tekken 6, which was kind of similar to player versus CPU. So I guess they have had it in the past. They just hadn't had a mode that was specifically for fighting against the CPU, where you get to choose who you want to fight against. And that's something that kind of sets it apart from like the treasure mode, because treasure modes and the old ghost mode, like you didn't really get to choose. Like if I want to fight Nina, I just want to fight Nina. So that's something new that I think is going to be a welcome addition, especially for people who don't fancy going online and playing online matches. I really had a lot of fun with that Super Ghost Battle though. Like it's probably one of my favorite things. Like going in, being able to train my own ghost to do what I want my ghost to do. Like that is amazing, okay? And then you're gonna let it go in the wild, possibly be taking people's necks, chopping heads off out there on the internet. They ain't never gonna tell you. They only gonna upload the ones where they tore your ass up. But don't worry about a thing. I still find it to be one of the best things I ever seen in a fighting game. But I digress. I'm gonna get away from that. Something else that they had was the gallery mode. The gallery mode was very, very much lackluster in the demo, but the fact that there was a gallery mode in the demo already lets me know that it's gonna probably be high quality, like it normally is in Tekken. Probably gonna have all the game history, arcade history, as Tekken is known to do. They did in Tekken 7, 5. I believe even in 6, maybe they might have done it. So just Tekken Gallery is going to be Tekken Gallery. Going to be one of the most fire things anyway. I think they said something about characters having their own character episodes, which is probably going to be similar to what we normally see when we talk about Tekken arcade mode, where the characters go through and they have their own individual what-if storylines. So that's going to be, classic Tekken. I expect that to be there. Also, Tekken Ball is making a return. That I'm excited about, depending on how well it's played. The fact you can play it offline and online, which is what I think killed Tekken Bowling for Tekken 7, is that it wasn't online. So if you didn't have somebody on the couch with you that appreciated playing bowling with Tekken characters, you really didn't get much use out of it. You played the computer, but for people who play fighting games, they're really competitive. The computer sometimes just don't cut it, right? And, the computer either got to cheat you, or you're just gonna beat the brakes off of it. So that's it for the single player content. Now for multiplayer content, you really just had like player versus player, which that's the gist of fighting games. Player versus player. The online aspect, the Tekken Fight Lounge. Now, I did get to play those in the CBT and the CNT, and the CBT. The CNT, I don't recall having it, but the CBT, definitely that Fight Lounge was dope. It was dope. It had a few hiccups here and there, but I could see what potential they had in it. And just being a part of it, it was reminiscent of like going to one of these conventions, going to a tournament or something, going to an arcade, meeting up with fellow friends and game players and Tekken players. It definitely did a good job of conveying what they were trying to convey. So that's always a plus. It was good to see that they have the ranked matches, the quick matches, and the player matches. They're already just on your main screen, right? When you first jump in on the game, you just click over on R1 or L1 and scroll over to, you know, the offline, online column, whatever column you want to go to, and you can just go there right from the title screen, right? Or right from your main screen. Unlike previous Tekkens where you got to go log into online and then you got to wait for that jump to circulate. It looks like you'll be able to do it right from the title screen. So I think that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. Once again, you're on PS5 or these new next generation consoles. So, you know, things could be a lot faster processing wise. And what it's able to hold all at one time it's impressive. It's impressive. It's impressive. I was happy to see that they do have player matches. So we know that you can create your own lobbies. And, you know, play who you want to play without having to go to the lounge and hope that there's some system available or some arcades available for you. But still leaving that option there for like group Tekken and stuff. So I think that that's pretty dope, pretty dope, pretty dope. And then they have leaderboards, they say, that's going to be available, which, you know, always in the spirit of competition. Always something to just have there and look at and, you know, pay attention to all that kind of stuff that, you know, whatever comes on the leaderboard. Character usage might be, you know, win streaks. Who knows what they're going to have on it, but, you know, welcome addition to the game. Then there's the customization. They have character customization. I don't know much about the character customization because I didn't have my hands on that. So because I don't have hands on with the character customization, I won't really dive deep into it. I just hope that is good. The fact that we can customize characters and every other fighting game seems to struggle with the ability to customize character, or they just don't want to customize the character so they can sell you skins. You know, Tekken's always been forethought, you know, forward thinking in that regard. So much appreciation to them bringing back the customizations. Even in Tekken 5 where it was very limited, the fact that you could even customize it at all and you can't do it in other games except for what maybe Soul Calibur, I think, which happens to be another Namco product. I mean, you can't really go wrong with it. So you have the avatar customization. Now, this is where you want to do like your side quest, arcade quest mode, and when you're going to the fight lounge, it's basically your avatar that's just your representative. I thought it was pretty good. It's not super detailed. It is kind of, you know, Xbox or what is it, Nintendo Mii's. Like it is kind of that avatar type deal, but overall, I mean, it's pretty dope. It's not as good as the Street Fighter avatars, if I have to say so. The Street Fighter avatars, you know, you fighting with them mugs, you can go and make them fight each other. You can make them look wacky as you want to look. So, I mean, definitely Street Fighter probably got the upper hand in that area. But I don't think it was a competition for that because you use the avatars differently, right? So I think that for what they are well designed as far as what they are, right? You know, obviously they're not to the fidelity of the actual characters in the game, but they're not meant to be, right? They're not even meant to appear on those kind of modes with those characters. So they're really not even supposed to be comparable. The next thing is player customization, which is like your name tag, you know, how you want your health bar to look and all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm not really big into that stuff, but I know a lot of people are. So the fact that it's there, once again, just adding to the layer of customization. Namco doing a very good job in that area. And of course, they brought back the jukebox. Now, for people on PlayStation, we've been had it, so we don't know life without it. But if you had it on Xbox or if you had PC versions, you know, you didn't get the opportunity to have the actual jukebox. You probably had some jank jukebox if you had any kind of jukebox accessibility. So yeah, the jukebox is definitely going to be just another example of them giving you a much beloved feature from the past. and making it available for everybody, which seems to be a big running theme for this Tekken, is making things available. They got crossplay, so that can't go without being mentioned. For the first time, Tekken is being able to be played on all systems, across all systems, to each system. So that's big news for everything that they have going on in the Tekken 8 ecosystem. They also have a final column that was the replay functionalities, and essentially, if you played Tekken before, you can replay matches that you played online. It saves like 12, 15, who knows how many matches it'll save on the new generation consoles and hardware. We don't know how they have that set up, but normally it lets you have a limited amount of matches that you can queue up and watch them whenever you want to watch them to help you with your game plan. They also have something called exciting matches, which I guess is like matches from other players. I don't really know because it doesn't really describe much about what that is. So I'm interested in seeing where that's going to be going. And of course, you have the My Replay and tips, which from the way they described it, is going to be pretty dope when it comes to helping you learn the game. Being able to take over a match that you had in a previous setting and then be able to take like 10 seconds and rewind it and make a different decision and see how that would affect that game. Like, that is actually, once again, Tekken 8 being very innovative when it comes to the way the game is presenting these new features that, I've not seen on other games, or if they are in other games, they're in very limited games that, I hadn't heard nobody else raving about personally. So, not to knock on them if they've been doing this, but to have it in such a big game like Tekken and never having it be there before in the same way, it showed that they had the cheese, okay? They got the cheese for this one, all right? The budget was big for this bad boy. Now, with that being said, I must talk about the disappointments or wishes that, I would like to see. All right. The disappointment that I had was that there was no team battle. Okay. Team battle mode. I know a lot of people have been asking for it. I know I've been asking for it. I got a lot of ideas for it. Preferably, I want it to be online and offline, right? For different reasons. That's just the Tekken mode that has been there for forever. Tekken 7 didn't have it. And I guess they just like, oh, it was fine without it on Tekken 7. We just not going to bring it back. But it is very much a beloved feature. One of the best modes. I know it probably doesn't get daily use, and they don't want to really be putting money into something that they feel doesn't get daily use. But I think if you put it online, it very much will have a lot of use. Because people like, being able to play all their different characters and not have to be switching back and forth. Like, it's its own portion of Tekken. It has its own appeal. So I think that they definitely should bring that back. Make it an online, offline if you can. Bringing in previous titles for online or offline capability to be able to be playing it. Even if it's just the arcade edition, you don't have to bring me the whole Tekken 5, the whole Tekken 3 with everything in it. Now, that would be redundant, because then, why are you going to bring me all the Tekken 3 that has Tekken Ball and then give me Tekken Ball? Like, that's not necessary. But if they were able to somehow get all of them old Tekkens, like in an arcade mode, even if it kind of rotated in and out, but if they gave you the ability to just have access to all the old Tekkens, right? Maybe all the way up to 5, maybe up to DR, I guess. They just choose the best version of each Tekken up to that point. That would be amazing, right? I don't expect them to put 7 on here, although they probably could. I don't expect them to put all Tekken Tag 2. They probably don't want to be reminded of that. So I'm just thinking, like, maybe that would be, it might be a bridge too far, but I know that would be excellent. That would shoot this thing over the roof for content if they were able to do that. And also the removal of online tournament mode. I don't know if it's going to be removed, but I don't see anything that is stating that it is going to be there. And I think that maybe if they could bring that back and maybe give you like a TWT rules availability on the game mode some kind of way, that would definitely be fire. Okay, that would be fire. Being able to do like an online tournament mode, set it to TWT rules. I mean, you could probably even start running tournaments that way on the, in a more simple way using the game system. That would be pretty dope. I don't know how easy that is to program, but those would be my wishes or the things that I'm disappointed that I don't see in the game. When it comes to the concerns that I have for the game, really there's only two. I talk about it all the time. Balancing is the first concern. Right? Tekken is horrible at in-house balancing. If anybody played that CNT or they played that Alpha, boy, that junk was super cheap, okay? And that was what they came up with. But without anybody from the outside telling them this junk is too wild, all right? If y'all wouldn't have went there and told them it was too wild, they would have left that junk in the game. Because they have expansive minds. They're thinking like, oh, we really want to push for certain directions. We're going to push for aggressiveness and assertiveness. Let's make this junk super ridiculous. Let's make it super oppressive. Like, no, bro, we still got to play the game, bro. This junk can't be like this. So, they came out with Fakuran and Leroy in Tekken 7. Those motherfuckers was super ridiculous. All the DLC characters just about ridiculous. Like, nah, ain't nobody testing this junk. That junk gonna be busted. So I'm already going to assume that this game is going to be busted out his mind. Hopefully it's not so busted that people put the game down, because I could imagine it probably take a long time to patch something in Tekken. So I would just hopefully they've learned their lesson. Maybe they got some better in-house testers. I don't know, but some of the stuff I saw in the CNT and the CBT, and it looked like the CBT in the final version don't look like they changed much in the balancing department. So, boy, it's about to be some cheating stuff I done seen in that little time that I got to play it. So that's first and foremost. And then the netcode is the other major concern, because for some people it was kind of janky, and even for myself when I played the CBT doing the fight lounge, there was a few things here and there that were issues. Like I couldn't spectate. I only was able to spectate one match. I couldn't like walk up and just spectate a random match. It would always kick me out the server. Some people were saying that with Wi-Fi it was still janky. Some people's connections was like real stuttery. I had that issue maybe one or two times. For the most part, my matches were pretty good. Even if they were delayed, they were consistent. So I hadn't really had too much of an issue with that, but I do know that it doesn't take much to deter somebody from playing a fighting game. And the number one thing is being able to get online and that junk being stuttery and you can't do your inputs, can't do your combos, all this stuff you done practice. Be the first thing to kill your game. Don't matter how much content in it. Game be dead. All right. So hopefully they address those concerns and get that straightened out. And if I have to give my verdict overall, I would say that even considering the disappointments and possible concerns that I might have, I have to say that this Tekken is, of course, close to, if not already, the best Tekken as regards content and quality. All right. If they can get the balancing and the netcode thing straight on launch, I'd probably get this junk a 9.5 right out the box. And if they happen to include like 2 out of 3 things on my wish list, hopefully all 3, but if they could do 2 out of 3, maybe even just 1 out of 3, but I'm going to push for 2 out of 3 because I know you out here looking at this Harada and Michael Myers. Oh, did I call the man Michael Myers? He definitely ain't finna do nothing for me now. But in any event, we get 2 out of 3 of them things, we're going to get this junk an 11 out of 10, all right? But I'm already let you know, people is ready for this junk, all right? People are ready. They are ready. They are primed, okay? I'm primed. I'm 40-something years old. Well, I'm almost 40-something years old. I'm excited for a video game. I ain't been excited for a video game in a long time. A very long time, all right? So I know if they got me with a little excitement in my old shivering bones, I know everybody else is ready. Heck, we was playing this junk on Share Play on the PlayStation, just clamoring for January 26th to roll around. Got a whole month and some days to go along, and it ain't never seemed like it was so far. But with that being said, we're going to bring this video to a close. And of course, tell me what you liked about the video. What are your concerns? Have you got a chance to play the demo? And if so, what did you think about it? And what do you think about the final product coming up? Drop all of that down there in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell. You know how that thing is. So y'all can get some more of this content. Be right on time with it. And of course, you already know what it is. It's your boy M.I.C in the realm of the real, where only the real can chill. Peace.